moving, got to keep on moving on, keep going on, got to keep on moving on.
All can make it
in life,
you got to get focused,
keep on moving,
sky is the limit.
You got to get there, keep moving, keep marching on.
You can make it
in life,
you got to get focused,
keep on moving,
sky is the limit.
You got to get there, keep moving, keep marching on.
Keep on moving,
Keep moving, keep marching on.
Hello and a very warm welcome to SEP Book Differently, a program like no other. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. Today's episode is a special one.
You're right, and you know why? Two of our very own presenters tied the knot over the weekend, and that and more coming up. I'm your host, Maingi Mbogua.
And me, Jacqueline Kemani.
Welcome.
Keep moving, keep marching on.
30th of April 2017 is, and will always remain to be a very important day to two of SEP Book Differently presenters, Joan Murioki and Juliana Wegesa, as the two said I do to their respective partners. The two events were full of fun, and our teams were present to cover every given moment for you. Take a look.
This Sunday was unique and special, not only to persons with disabilities, but also to us as SEP Book Differently team.
Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her.
Two of our very own presenters, Juliana Wegesa and John Mwangi, were saying I do to the loves of their lives, Edward and Susan.
I, Edward Baga, will take you, Juliana Wegesa, to be my wife. I promise before God and this congregation to be a faithful and loving husband to you until death. Until death shall separate us.
Wow. That's appropriate. Thank you very much. Now,
I, Juliana Wegesa, do take you, Edward Obaga, to be my husband. I promise before God and for this congregation to be faithful and loving wife to you until death shall separate us. I, John Mwangi, give you this ring as an ornament, a pledge of the promise I have made for you. I'm taking you to live with me in a bond of fellowship from today onwards, in times of ease or times of hardship, times of prosperity or times of poverty, in times of illness or times of good health, to love you and make you happy as long as we live with the help of God.
wow. Yeah, so put the ring. Yeah, very good. He was out there. Sawa tu kwa kuona. Imeingia sasa. Thank you very much. I appreciate John. Thank you. Susan.
I give you this ring as an ornament and a pledge of the promise I have made to you. I'm taking you to live with me in bond of fellowship from today henceforth. In times of ease or in times of hardship, in times of prosperity or times of poverty, in times of illness or times of good health, to love you and to make you happy as long as we live, with the help of God.
Amen. Amen. So do what you have said. Okay, let us appreciate Susan. Thank you. Yes. Okay, mshikane mikono tu Susan.
In the presence of the congregation and the clergy, their marriages were officiated by Reverend Dr. John Gisheru. They could not leave the church empty-handed, as they were given Bibles to always be their reference in everything they do.
Thank you very much.
As they proceeded for their photo shoot, the congregation gathered at the reception for the climax of the wedding, where they were treated to lots of entertainment and something to bite.
Juliana and John, we wish you all the best in your marriages.
Absolutely. And in our quote of the day today, we're taking a look at a Bible saying that goes,
What God has put together, no man should put asunder. So what do you think?
you see, it's very key to actually understand and appreciate the sense of unity that God's bring on board. And therefore, to every given person that God commands unity in. As human, our subject obligation is to not put anything that would make these two people to part. And celebrate the mere part that love is godly. You know,
So we should not allow anything to come
Not
in
even for
between
a
our
day.
marriages. I agree with you.
absolutely. Taking a short break, right back in a moment. Keep it able differently.
Keep moving, keep marching on. Keep moving, keep marching on.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you are watching Able Differently, a program where we take charge. To change the lives of children with disabilities, early intervention is critical in this respect. SEP has launched easy-to-read books for young children with the aim of inspiring them. Take a look.
Special educational professionals launched a series of books dubbed This Is Me.
Developing This Is Me is something that started a long time ago. When we started our organization, we were doing early intervention consultations, so where parents used to come with their children, and then we do assessment, and then we train parents to be able to work with their children at home. And we have a group of speech therapists, occupational therapists, special needs teachers, psychologists. We all work together. But then we realized that there was always a gap. When you refer these children to school, sometimes they do not get the right support, and sometimes the teachers also do not know what to do. The concept of inclusion wasn't there at all. Then we thought of what's the best way of reaching the learning society, I would say so. Starting from kindergarten all the way through primary to secondary school. Then we thought, now for us to be able to change minds and attitudes of people, then we need to target the learning environment, because if you change the way people perceive world, then you change their attitude. So we thought of developing the books and then trying them in kindergartens and primary schools. So far, when we started working on them, we got teachers to read with children, and the response has always been good. We've shown them to parents, and the parents like them. And we think that after reading the books, children have better understanding. And so we decided to go ahead and produce the books and see if we can have the books circulated in all the schools, starting from kindergartens.
Owing to the large number of persons living with disabilities in Kenya, these books were targeted to aid in inclusive education.
We believe that those who learn together live together. We want to develop inclusive societies. We want societies where people celebrate each other's differences, where everyone is counted. To achieve this, persons with disabilities or children with special needs must be included in the society. They comprise a significant number of the general population, that is over 10% of general population. So if we exclude them from education and from mainstream centers of learning and cultures and everything, then we are excluding a big number. If you look at Kenya, a population of over 48 million, then we are saying that over 4.8 million Kenyans are disabled. So in SEP, we feel that everybody must be included in education, in social interaction, in the society, in everything.
The books received much adoration from parents with children with special needs and other invited guests.
Of us, when we were young, we read storybooks. And after reading the storybooks, it opens up your environment and you identify with that. So the children are going to learn the vocabularies that all of us have learned when we are old. Because like autism, like cerebral palsy, if in your neighborhood there was not this kind of a child, then you have come to learn when you are already in school, right? But for them, now it's going to be there without forcing them. I feel that this should have happened when I was young. Not now that I know this much, because there was a child with Down syndrome in our neighborhood, and every one of us was looking. Actually, we are saying the family. We are saying the family with this kind of a child. So we were seeing the child before we see the family. The child, the cerebral palsy children. Actually, when they are brought in the bus or where we are, it was like ile familia iko na kiwete, ile mtoto hatembei, which is little did you know that we are hurting the child, the family, to have to see the child before. But now, if these books get to the schools, then the vocabularies will be like there, and the children will want to know more.
On what they do, yeah. Apart from academics, they can now write, yeah. You also look at all that, and I think it's something that other parents need to look into, not even just for the children with special needs, but also normal children, because we forget so much this point of integration, and you keep on concentrating on how can you get an A. So it's write books, and they don't get to interact, and it's something we are seeing more and more often, especially with our generation, unfortunately, that kids don't come out to play. So by the time they come out, they only want to interact with people who are similar or the same.
The books are targeted to be introduced to children in their formative years to aid in helping them understand matters concerning disabilities.
To achieve inclusive education and inclusive societies, we must change our attitudes and beliefs. And it's not easy to change attitudes and beliefs in old age. So if you meet your grandfather or grandmother and say, this person who is autistic is not bewitched or is not cursed, they'll not believe you, because probably for a long time they believed that it was witchcraft or a curse or something like that. But if you get your little child in kindergarten and you start talking of autism and say this person has a lot of abilities and strengths that we have never celebrated before, they'll believe you. And they'll start focusing on those strengths, and the strengths will come out, and we'll start celebrating them, and they'll contribute to the society. Economically, socially, in sports and everything, they'll be able to contribute. But if we segregate them, we'll not achieve that. And again, if we target inclusion in old age, then again, we are not going to succeed. So it's easier to do inclusion from early years, and so that we change mindset from early years. Children start understanding it differently and grow knowing that people are different, and we celebrate the differences.
During the launch, the chairman urged other stakeholders to follow suit and assist the initiative by pointing out some of the hindrances to inclusive education.
But if you accept that your child has a problem, take your child to the nearest school and support the school to work with your child, then the child will make good progress. So you help your child from the word go. And then also for our leaders, right now, for instance, we are moving towards election. We want to hear people talking about the policies that will encourage inclusion and support persons with disabilities, and make sure that they get the right education and right support in the society, and even the right medication. So, because we have quite a number of conditions that can be prevented, can be treated medically, so we want community leaders to support us. We want schools to support us in this. We want politicians to support us in this. So that's the word that I would like to send out there.
Sentiments that were further echoed by the parents of the children with special needs.
I like the book because it's able to tell my son's story in a different way, where the children will learn. One time the beginning of this year, we went for swimming, and as I was carrying him in the back, the children really laughed at him, and it was the first time that children had laughed at him, and it broke him. For 2 weeks, we could not go back for swimming. And as we were walking there, I would talk to him, and I'd say, you have to learn that you're different. In that other school, people understood you, but now we have to cross this place. And I know that with him, we are going to go far. And I see a long journey, but I know that for sure there's good things coming, and his life is on the step, because you can see he's determined to go where he's going. And as we work together with this book, we'll be able to change people's perspective of what they think about the children, and also about him understanding what people say.
Let's take a look at the UN Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties recognize the rights of persons with disabilities to work on an equal basis with others. This includes the right to the opportunity to gain a living by work freely chosen or accepted in a labor market and work environment that is open, inclusive, and accessible to persons with disabilities.
Well, folks, that's all the time we had for today's show. And be sure to interact with us on our Facebook page, that is Able Differently. Or you can text us on 22162, starting with capital AD.
On behalf of the Able Differently team, we wish Juliana and Edward, John and Susan happy marriages. Until next week, be blessed. I have been your host, Jacqueline Kemani.
And me, Maingi Mpogua.
Bye.
You make me smile every day. Umayoma happiness, my loveliness. Kwawe bubu, kwangu mahabubu. Your beautiful eyes, shake your body till morning light. Japo sipati neno lako, ishara yaonyesha mapenzi. Je t'aime, I love you.